Did you know that the first brain surgery was probably done 7,000 years ago? Listen on. When someone receives a hard hit on the head, there is a fluid that builds up in the brain, and this build-up can lead to death. Now, modern day surgeons will drill a small hole in the head to relieve that pressure and allow the fluid to drain out. This is called a trepanation. Skulls were discovered in caves dating back to the Stone Age, over 7,000 years ago, that have a very similar hole in them. And this was the first form of trepanation. Now, fascinatingly, these holes showed signs of healing, which meant that the person lived for a few years after the surgery was actually conducted. So it was a successful brain surgery. Now, clearly the Stone Age people knew the importance of a brain and hence had these procedures for them. Welcome to the Habit Coach podcast, the podcast where we evolve into the best versions of ourselves, one awesome habit at a time. I'm Ashdin Doctor, your habit coach. In this episode, I want to discuss 3 things that we do every day that are damaging our brain health, and what are some habits that we can incorporate into our life to prevent them from taking place. You see, most of us spend so much time focusing on our looks and our body, exercising, trying to keep fit. However, our mental fitness is something that we have to begin to actively start working on. Especially after COVID, many of us started experiencing brain fog and inability to think clearly. As your habit coach, I want to see you taking care of your brain and realize that a healthy brain is an amazing tool that you have. So the first habit that is damaging our brains is the lack of sleep. Now, I have so many people who keep writing to me and telling me on Instagram that, I sleep at 2 in the night, I sleep at 3 in the night, and I feel fine. Or some people say that they sleep only 4 hours and it is fine for them. But the truth is that this is very dangerous. And our brains are getting damaged every time we do this. Every time our sleep is affected, our brains are constantly getting damaged. If we do not have that required 7 to 8 hours of sleep, our brains begin to age. That means a 30-year-old will have the brain of a 60-year-old. Sleep is when your brain heals itself and cleans itself. If this cleaning is not happening, it means that there is a build-up taking place, and that can damage over time. When we are chronically sleepy, our learning capacity, our alertness, our ability to think gets affected. So the habit to take care of your brain is to get better sleep quality. And we do this by ensuring that we sleep at least at 11 p.m. Latest. If you are an early waker, an early riser, you might want to sleep even earlier than that. Set a sleep alarm to remind you to go to bed on time. And I know the temptation that exists of sitting on the couch and scrolling on your phone, it is high, but we must break away from it. This is because scrolling on the phone is the second habit that is damaging your brain. This includes scrolling on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, dating apps, shopping apps, and even your photo gallery. All of this is scrolling. Now, this is a technique used by the app companies called infinite scrolling. There's always something new and exciting coming on your feed. Always something that you want to look forward to. And the crazy thing is, we can't even remember what we've seen. We forget more than half of the things that we interact with, all because we're constantly scrolling and seeking something new. Our brain is processing the seeking behavior and releasing something called dopamine. This hormone gives us pleasure, but also gives us the sense of seeking. And this leads to our brain being less sensitive to dopamine. And we find several mental health issues coming up from this dopamine overdose that is taking place. The crazy thing is that while we think we are being entertained, the truth is that we are being drained. We feel tired after long sessions of scrolling like this. And we have to form the habit of detoxing from this dopamine. Now, the internet is full of this thing called dopamine detox videos. If you actually start Googling this, you'll be scrolling endlessly through that as well. So instead, just follow this simple guide. 2 hours of no phone. 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening. What you do is you set your phone on airplane mode, put it away, and continue with the rest of your day. This is going to be hard the first time around, but it gets easier over time. When you do this, the brain will automatically start detoxing from the dopamine. And even better, your sleep is going to get better as well at night. So it's a win-win situation. The final habit that is ruining your brain is the belief that you will be happy when something important happens in the future. So, I will be happy when I buy my first Ferrari. I will be happy when I'm in Goa sipping a drink. I will be happy when I get $4 million in my bank account. This is the biggest lie, that something in the future will make you happy. The truth is that you need to focus on the present and be happy here and now. And when we keep thinking about the future and expecting happiness to lie there, by default, we are not happy right now. And our dopamine, again, is coursing through our brain, trying to keep us seeking and seeking. Instead, we have to learn to pause and look at life and look for the things that make us happy. You know, those funny little things that our pets do at home, that hug from a loved one, etc. There are so many things that make us happy, but we just forget about them because we are looking for that big thing that will happen in our life to make us happy. And you will find so many of these amazing things that already exist. This is why having a morning gratitude practice is so important. Keep your phone on aeroplane mode and write down the things that you're grateful for in your journal. And you will feel an immediate sense of gratitude and peace and happiness wash over you. As your habit coach, I want you to do these habits every day. Sleep early with enough time. Stop scrolling on your phone and set a timer, or keep your phone away for 2 hours a day. Finally, learn to be happy in this present moment instead of waiting for some future happiness to happen. If you like this episode, don't forget to hit subscribe. Also, give us a rating. It really helps with people discovering the podcast. If you like podcasts like this, check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can also watch all the episodes on the Habit Coach Awesome 180 YouTube channel. Follow us on social media. We are at IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, everywhere. You can also reach out to me. I am Ashdin Doc at Twitter and Instagram. You can connect with me on my website, awesome180.com. You can also check out my 2 new books, Change Your Habits, Change Your Life, and the second, The Book of Good Habits for Kids. I am Ashdin Doctor, your habit coach.
IVM.